The ERi-TV news broadcast crew and I, Dalit Sahaya, are now ready for your daily news briefing at 10:30 local time. But first, let us catch up with the major headlines. Central Region Ministry of Education Activity Assessment Meeting. Seminars focusing on enhancing preschool service. U.S. launched first crewed lunar flyby over 50 years. And Russia nuclear missile forces hold drills in Siberia. Proceeding with our reports. The Ministry of Education branch in the Central Region conducted an activity assessment meeting on the first semester of 2025-2026 academic year on 31st March. Mr. Belay Habtagaber, head of the Education Office in the region, said that the meeting was continuation of the similar activity assessment meeting conducted in the subzones of the region. He also said that the branch office gives priority to enhancing the capacity of teachers, especially preschool teachers, indicating that out of the 12,594 students who were registered, 98.25% scored passing marks. Mr. Belay called for addressing the basic demands of the schools and improving infrastructure. Heads of the Education Office in the subzone presented reports focusing on activity assessment carried out to enhance the teaching and learning process, the expansion of schools and their contribution in the challenge encountered due to the long distance to schools, as well as the efforts exerted to strengthen educational capacity. Noting that enhancing educational capacity should not be left to the Ministry of Education alone, Dr. Halima Mohammed, Minister of Education, called for coordinated effort by the public and stakeholders to address the challenge facing educational facilities. A similar focusing on enhancing preschool service has been conducted for 120 teachers, school directors and supervisors in Adaya subzone. At the seminar, Mr. Ulfu Albagaber, preschool supervisor at the Education Office in the Southern Region, gave a briefing on the advantage of preschool education, follow-up on children's development, lessons planning, teachers' ethics, time management, as well as 5 pillars of children's development. Mr. Mabratu Tasfom, head of the pedagogy at the region, said that the objective of the seminar was to develop the understanding of teachers, school directors and supervisors on significance of preschool in the future education career of students, and called on participants to strengthen their participation in the effort, urging the participants to apply the knowledge they have gained from the seminar to development of preschool services. Mr. Bayana Tasfai, head of the Education Service, called for strengthening tripartite relationship with a view to enhancing the teaching and learning process. According to the document from the Education Office in Adaya subzone, over the past 2 years, the number of preschool in the subzone has increased from 9 to 52. A seminar focusing on the objective situation in the homeland as well as regional and global development has been conducted for members of the Eritrean community in Sweden. Speaking at the event of the seminar, Mr. ERi-TV, head of the public diplomacy at the Eritrean embassy, noted that owing to the strong unity, the Eritrean community in Sweden has emerged victorious in foiling all sorts of external hostiles. He called for reinforced effort for better outcome by encouraging the youth to play their due part in the activities of the community. Dr. Musem Skina, an Eritrean scholar, gave an extensive briefing on the struggle and victory of Eritrean people at various struggles in the country's history. In his briefing, Dr. Musei said that Eritrean people have developed the capacity to face the hostiles encountered from time to time, and its commitment and readiness to continue their present day by transferring the young generation. He also called for reinforced participation for better outcome and urged the youth to equip themselves with necessary skills and knowledge. Mr. Alem Talagergis, chairman of the Holidays Coordinating Committee in the Scandinavian countries, presented the plan for the action of 2026 and called for reinforced participation in the implementation of the program. The participants on their part expressed conviction to strengthen organizational capacity and unity, as well as participation in the national affairs. Straight ahead is our international news after a short break. Welcome back. NASA's Artemis II moon mission lifted off on Wednesday from U.S. state of Florida, carrying 4 astronauts and first crewed lunar flyby in more than 50 years. A Space Launch System rocket with the Orion spacecraft atop launch from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida at 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time, spending a crew on a historic 10-day journey around the moon and back. It is NASA's first crew mission under the Artemis program. About 8 minutes after liftoff, NASA confirmed the main engine cut off the SLS core stage and a successful separation from the interim cryogenic propulsion stage and Orion spacecraft, marking the conclusion of the rocket's first major propulsion phase. Approximately 24 minutes after launch, Orion solar array wings were deployed and began generating power. Each wing contains about 15,000 solar cells that convert sunlight into electricity. Engineers on the ground then began transitioning the spacecraft on the launch to flight operation and start checking out the system. On our last report, Russian strategic missile forces have conducted drills in Siberia involving camouflage movement of the Yaris intercontinental ballistic missile that are capable of delivering nuclear warheads, and the Defense Ministry said on Thursday. Crews practicing the range of activities, including using camouflage and concealments and discussing movements of the ground-based missiles in the field, the ministry said. They also rehearsed responding to stimulated enemy attack and countering air attack weapons. The ministry did not report any launch of missiles. Russia holds regular exercise of its strategic nuclear forces in order to test their combat readiness and sending warning signals in the West at a time of high tension with the NATO adversaries over the war in Ukraine. Dear viewers, we've come to the end of tonight's news. Let's have a quick recap of the headlines. Central Region Ministry of Education Activity Assessment Meeting. Seminar focusing on enhancing preschool service. US launched first crewed lunar flyby in over 50 years. And Russia nuclear missile force hold drills in Siberia. And that was the news from ERi-TV studios. This has been Eritrea reporting. Thanks for watching and have a good night.